You also hit on something as well. I think it's a concept that we see a lot in our business, which is whether you're going to do a technology first or a process first transformation, right? And so what you kind of hit on is that you're saying if I'm hearing you right, in sales planning, it's a little bit more important to do a process first transformation and then fit the technology to the process or make sure that it fits with the process as opposed to trying to go about doing the planning transformation through a technology when there's no process aligned. Am I right? Is there any fuzziness to that, or is there any world where you think it is okay to go technology first as opposed to process first?
And I would say the only time I would advise a client to jump straight to technology is, if you've been through this kind of story before, right? Like if,
Yep.
many organizations know what their challenges are. It may be documented somewhere. Hopefully the stakeholders who have lived the pain, if they're still in the organization, you may still have that kind of tribal knowledge and that understanding of where you are and why you got here. And then if that's the case, perhaps the problem is not so much, understanding like what you need to fix, but at that point, technology can help provide, and to be frank, sometimes it's an excuse to help introduce that change into the organization, right? You kind of just need
Yep.
to get started. But that
Yeah.
that type of situation is, I wouldn't say it's few and far between, but it does vary. I would say when in doubt, you definitely need to make sure you understand what is going to work for your business first. And I'll take the example of CRM. Software vendors can become, through their success, kind of synonymous with a particular process or function in the organization. And it's easy to kind of assume that this is something that we need to have in place. But what I'm seeing more and more now is that clients are saying, you know what, that particular piece of technology that everyone is buying maybe is not right for us. Maybe we need something that's a little bit more simple because the things that really matter, the levers that really matter for our business, it's not going to be defined within this particular software. Maybe we have to look somewhere else in order to find that competitive advantage. You can't really answer those questions unless you've really looked at your own processes and really understand, where your differentiators are going to come from. And that really depends on your own circumstance, your industry, your unique value proposition, and how you're going to win your market.
Yeah. No, I love that. Yeah, so I think that's to sum some of that up as well, because this is just great, Jared. I think, what you said is that generally speaking, we would like to encourage folks to go through a process first kind of transformation before going right to the technology. However, it can be acceptable to go technology first. We just want to make sure that we've actually thought through why we're going that direction, and we kind of have some clear vision on how we would expect to allow the technology to get us to push for a change inside of the organization. So I love that.